welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves where this conversation takes place. Land which was never ceded, land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and rising. Today I'm chatting to James Gibson at Arbory and Afloat. James is the loveliest man. He exudes warmth, friendliness and absolute passion for food and chef life. Originally from Leeds, James got into the kitchen as a way to get out of school, and he hasn't looked back. After 6 years working for the Arbory crew and working his way up through the ranks, he's now executive chef of Arbory and Afloat, the seasonal venue on the Yarra. This year, Afloat is Afloat Viva Mexico, or perhaps I should say, Viva Mexico. And James joined the team on a research trip to Mexico to source the best of the best to bring back to a potentially hot Melbourne summer. Afloat opened for the season a week ago and the balmy weather has already come to the party. There are cocktails on tap and an extensive menu of tacos, raw dishes, tortas and tostadas. I can highly recommend the mojito and the baja fried fish taco, and I'm already looking forward to going back for even more. Hi James.
Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. How are you?
Today?
Yeah. So, and what perfect weather.
I know, like how lucky.
So, you're saying the team went to Mexico?
Yeah, we went for 3 weeks. We went to 5 different cities in Mexico. It was the first time I've been invited on one of the research trips.
I love that they do that.
Honestly, indispensable, like what we gained while we were over there. I didn't even realise how much I was gaining until I came back and started writing the menu. And everyone was asking me what I was going to do, and the picture was just so clear in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if it wouldn't have been the same venue without it.
Yeah.
So a huge bonus for me in the kitchen, and obviously they sent the venue manager as well, and then everyone above us. So It was amazing.
So what are some highlights? Where did you go? What are the 5 places?
So we went to Tulum, and Tulum it's a bit more Americanized. It's still Mexican. They still have Mexican food, but it sort of plays to the tourists that are coming in. And then after that, we went to Oaxaca, which is the home of mezcal.
Yeah.
And we saw people make mezcal. It's also the home of mole, which I'm not a big fan of mole.
Yeah.
After that, it was Guadalajara, which was really good, which is obviously close by to tequila. And then after Guadalajara, we went to Cabo San Lucas.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Baja.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, we went there to try the perfect fish taco because I wanted to put a Baja fried fish taco on the menu. Thank you.
It's my favourite.
Yeah. It's a lot of people's favourite here as well now. But it was a long flight just to try a taco, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
Then after that, it was Mexico City.
Yeah, wow. So I've got Mexican friends, and hearing them talk about going back home, and one guy was talking about like a whole cow buried, like cooked in the ground, and making the tacos from that. And were there things that surprised you?
Oh, 100%, absolutely. Yeah. Everything took us by surprise. But yeah, the whole pig, the whole lamb or the whole cow buried, the barbacoa style, where they cover it in rocks and then just leave it to cook overnight. It's fantastic. Obviously, we can't do that here on the river. I wish, but I have put a barbacoa style dish on the menu. Yeah. But it's just pot roasted, but it's still like quite synonymous with how they do it.
Is it what region?
So the barbacoa, it's sort of like, it doesn't, I'm not 100% sure where it originates.
Yeah.
We ate really good barbacoa just outside of Mexico City though.
Yeah, I'm feeling like that's what they were talking about too.
Yeah, just outside of Mexico City. Yeah. We met some guys in a plate factory there and they took us around the area and fantastic barbacoa.
And if you'd thought about making tacos before your trip, how different is your idea of tacos having been to Mexico?
Substantially different, like you think about, for me, obviously I've never been before. Everything I was taking from was restaurants around Melbourne, and it's not at all. You go to Mexico and you get a tortilla, and they slap on some slow cooked meat, and then that's it. And then they send you off to your table, and then they've got these veritable selections of condiments and salsas and all this sort of stuff. And just the usability of that was really interesting, and it's definitely something we tried to implement in the menu here.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was really different. You know, you don't get these really complex tacos. Like I feel like, you know, you go to, obviously no crispy taco shells as well.
Yeah.
But you go to a more Tex-Mexy sort of place over here, and it's a lot more complex, you know. And we wanted to really just simple, good ingredients done well.
So I spoke to a guy over in Brunswick who has Los Hermanos. I don't even know if that's still going. But anyway, he was saying too that he's Mexican and that it's commonplace, you know, Mexicans know which sauce goes with which taco, and it's a particular one.
Yeah.
And they would just have them like open salsa and sauces out, but we can't do that here.
No.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is, and it's such a shame because, and that was really a directive that I received, was we want to bring that Mexican feel of you can customize your own tacos and put the right stuff on and then try stuff out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't imagine how much salsa we'd be throwing away.
Yeah.
But we do have a chef selection taco plate, and then you get a condiment tray along with it.
Yeah.
With like multiple different salsas and like a pico de gallo and a chipotle salsa, burnt tomatillo and stuff like that, and so people can have a bit of fun with it, you know?
Yeah.
Just trying to bring it the feel, but not also waste too much and cost too much.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so much fun because I think that's the whole thing with Arbory or with Afloat, is it's really capturing an essence as well, an experience, and I think especially with this balmy weather, I think I can already see it's going to be a big summer here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always a big summer here.
Yeah. And I think honestly the guys who set this place up and they did the design work, I think they've really done a sensational job. It's so colourful, it's so vibrant, you know. When we were in Tulum, I was thinking, I'm not sure how much we're going to take from here, but then it's all in the design, you know, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Mexico, and I haven't yet got there, but
I think you should definitely give it a go. Although I drank some of the tap water on the first night.
I know.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
I know. How long did it last?
Yeah, pretty much the whole thing, really. I think for the last 4 days I was up to it, but anyway, I persevered through.
Oh my god.
Couldn't miss out, you know.
Oh no, that's really that's right. You've got to eat all the food, don't you?
Exactly.
Wow. So, you've been with the group for a few years now, and you've worked your way up too.
Yeah, so 6 years.
Yeah.
I started at Arbory chef de partie on the main section. Seems crazy now, honestly, and then just quickly rose through the ranks. I was head chef up there maybe 3 years ago, and then I spoke to the boss and I said, look, I really want a new challenge. Like, it's great up there, it's still challenging, but I want something to really develop myself. And that's when the sort of role of overseeing the two of them just came about. And it's so incredibly exciting with this venue down here, how it changes every year, but also having to juggle that with, you know, liaising with my staff up there. It's a really good challenge.
And it's a big step up, isn't it? And I think, and I don't mean this in any kind of condescending way, but you look young, and so to be like the captain of the team, and I mean, you were head chef, but what is your leadership style, would you say, with
this is something that is actually one of my biggest driving factors, I think. I just want people to want to come to work. I want them to want to work for me. If they want to come to work and work for me, they're going to work harder, they're going to work better. And so I feel like I'm very open. I am young, you know, and I'm probably a lot younger than most people in this role. So I have to be reflective of the fact that these chefs who are maybe older than me, more experienced, they have a lot of stuff to give me, but I've got stuff to give them, and it's just that relationship, and that's the way that I manage them, and that's really my ethos, to be honest. Like,
yeah, and I reckon that's like it's the way of the world now, isn't it, to be considerate of other people and to work as a team, and well-being is a really big
100%, you know, like
part of it.
We talk about how we structure the rosters and stuff like that here. Well, I mean, when I started, it was like every other hospitality business where you're doing doubles and singles, but now, you know, this huge shift towards people getting paid for what they're doing. I think it's amazing, and I 100% with all my heart believe that we get the same amount of staff same amount of stuff out of staff when they do 5-8 hour shifts as when they're doing doubles, because they're fresh, they're energized, they're engaged when they're here, and I think that's what we want. And they've got a better life outside of work as well.
Yeah,
and that's what we want for the team.
Yeah,
that's what I want for myself.
Yep, absolutely. And there's no reason why that's right. That hospitality should mean. I mean, obviously, hospitality, it's evening work and it's all those things, but you know, it's about getting that balance, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I often think too that hospitality is about, you know, giving the diners and the public a really good time, but it shouldn't be at the
the cost of
the
staff. Yeah,
the staff.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, are you still on the pans? Are you still on the tools?
Absolutely. Like, you know, this is the thing. And if I go 3-4 weeks, obviously going into opening Afloat, there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of costing, a lot of writing, this and that. You know, you don't really get in the kitchen too easily. And then as soon as I get a shift back in the kitchen, throw yourself in the deep end. That's why I'm a chef. That's what I love. I love the stress. I love the pressure. I love the drive, you know? So although I do really enjoy my role, those shifts where I'm in the kitchen and I'm on the main section or I'm running the pass, those are what really invigorate me.
Yeah. And I read that it started early for you, so you were 16 when you started washing dishes, and you worked out you enjoyed washing dishes more than school.
Well, I think I liked anything more than school, honestly, like absolutely anything. But definitely even washing dishes was much preferable. Which is a bit of a sign, really, isn't it? School's not the right thing.
I think so. As a teacher, I've got to acknowledge that.
It's not for everyone, you know?
No,
it's not for everyone.
And nor should it be. That's right. Yeah.
But absolutely, 16, and then after 3 months washing dishes, I didn't last long on the dishes. I was already a bit bored of it. I said, what else have we got? And I started making sandwiches and wraps. Because it was in a production kitchen for a larger chain of San Fran style health food restaurants.
Okay.
So I was making the wraps, and then one day the boss just came to me and was like, do you want to do this for a job? I was like, actually maybe I do. So moved me commis chef in one of the flagship restaurants, and after 2 years I was head chef. So
wow. And what is it that you loved and I suppose still love about it?
100% is the stress, it's the pressure, it's the adrenaline. I can't deny that. But also, I just love food. I love eating food, I love cooking food. The feeling when someone walks past and says, thanks chef, the meal was great. It's such a drive. You get one of those a week and you're driven for the whole week, honestly. I mean, fortunately, we do get more than one a week, but it's honestly, it's so rewarding, you know?
Yeah.
Or even, you know, a staff member comes in and tries the new menu and they go, wow, like we want to sell that. The passion that we feel behind it, it's so motivating.
I've just been listening to a podcast. I don't know if you've heard of Hugh Van Cuylenburg. He's got a podcast called The Imperfects, and he talks to different people about, I suppose, he also has the Resilience Project, and so it's a lot about how it's a lot of honesty actually. And I just listened to him in conversation with Ben Shuri from Attica. And Ben was saying that that cooking is all about people, and then if you don't like people, you probably can't be a great chef. Would you agree with that?
I think that's a very fair statement, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't, if you're not managing the people right to do what you need them to do, then how's it going to work out in the long run? 100% I agree. You know, we always joke as chefs about we're in the kitchen because we don't like dealing with customers. Or at least I joke about that. But honestly, when I get to the chance to talk to a customer or do a staff training, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And so you enjoy the stress, and in those moments of, I mean, obviously you can streamline everything in the kitchen, but as you say, it's usually hot in the kitchen, and you've got deadlines, and you're loving that. But how do you actually get through, you know, a whole service of that high level of adrenaline?
You know, you've got to have someone that is motivating and driving. You know, for me, I feel like I'm the motivator. Always full of positivity. You know, take a break. A 30-second break is not going to make any difference to someone waiting 20 minutes for their meal. Take a break, recoup yourself, you know, and then motivate your team. Turn the fan off, ask if anyone wants a drink, it's all about just motivating, and motivating yourself as well to want to be there and do it.
Yeah. But it sounds like you are thinking of other people. You're not just like, I need a break.
No,
Everyone shut
absolutely
up.
not. Absolutely not. It's a communal break.
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Because I also think that happy kitchens make happy diners. Because I haven't spoken about this for a while, but for a period of time I was bringing this up in every conversation. But there's a book called like Water for Chocolate, and it's the translation of a Spanish book where the woman who's cooking, whatever her emotions at the time of cooking are, the people eating the food then have this feeling of, and I do have that sense that you want to know that it's a harmonious kitchen, and
I think that's a great way to think about it. Yeah,
you want to be eating good food that's come from good places.
I totally agree.
So what brought you to Australia? What part of England are you from?
So I'm from Leeds in the north of England.
Yeah.
I came to Australia originally for 6 months, which is often the way.
I was just going to say it's an oft-told story.
I had no idea that I was going to stay this long, but after 6 months, I just knew that I couldn't go. So me and my partner, we did our farm work, picked lemons in Bundaberg. It was excruciating, but also incredibly fun. You're in the same situation with all these people. It was beautiful, like the camaraderie as well. It was like being in a kitchen. Everyone's in this hard situation, but they want to, they got a joint goal, and it's great. I think
it's a weird, because I'm a New Zealander. I don't have to do, like, I'm not a resident or a citizen. I'm a resident obviously, but I'm not a citizen.
Yeah.
And that farm thing, it seems like a funny rule, but would you say it's worth, like, in retrospect, it's a good thing to have done? For me, I would not exchange it for unlimited work rights, because I met one of my best friends there, and it's because you're in that hard situation, and it's great. I love it. Lemons in Bundaberg. I would have thought of ginger, but...
You would, because of the ginger ale, no, there was a lot of ginger ale, but no, it was picking lemons.
And excruciating because it's hot, or because you've got to do a certain amount?
Very hot, long days.
Yeah.
It's very demanding. And then after that, I moved on to sweet potatoes, and digging sweet potatoes. Now that was actually, I wasn't sure, because I'm very tall. I wasn't sure my back was going to last, but you get used to it in the end.
And are you paid by the hour or by the yield?
Lemons is by the yield, so the harder you work, the more you get, and then potatoes is by the hour. So pick your poison, really.
But I guess it's kind of, you're putting your brain on pause while you're doing that kind of job, and then you're just also enjoying being in Queensland.
Exactly. You finish your shift, and because beforehand I was in senior management roles as a chef. I know I was young, but I was, but then in that job you finish digging your potatoes, they blow the whistle, and you just sit back and you don't think about anything. You just think about getting back to the bar, to a jug of very cheap beer, and that's it. Yeah.
And then why Melbourne?
I feel like that's a tricky question. I don't want to offend anyone from Sydney or Queensland. I don't love the heat.
Yeah.
I like it when it's cold. Like in winter, I'm honestly the happiest when I get to wear a coat.
Yeah.
The 40-degree days in Melbourne, they're tough days for me.
Me too.
Yeah. So, but on top of that, like just the food scene here, I've never felt more at home anywhere. Never felt more at home anywhere else.
Yeah. Amazing. And in terms of your passion and love for food, where, obviously the Mexico trip was really inspiring. Where else do you get your inspiration? Are you on Instagram? Do you have well, you probably don't have cookbooks if you're, do you have a...
Oh, no, I have
built
heaps of cookbooks.
Here?
Heaps of cookbooks.
You're definitely not going home, are you?
No, yeah. Well, I just bought an apartment 4 months ago. So,
now you can line the walls.
Yeah. I need more storage, actually. No, I love cookbooks. Not necessarily to follow the recipes, but I love just reading the ideas that everyone else has. Yeah. I'm a big reader. Like Instagram is, I have it, but it's not really my thing. But
nice.
Big reader.
Yeah.
In terms of other inspiration, that's why I'm in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Like you just look around, every corner you turn, there's a new piece of inspiration. Every restaurant is doing something different. Every pub is doing something different, and that's what I think is so amazing.
Yeah, I looked at your Instagram, and you're not a big poster.
No, I keep being told I have to get better.
But I really was struck by, obviously, you're really into your partner. I love that. It was that that came through, but just so curious about life. I loved it seemed like anywhere you were just loving being there, and whether it was that old, I don't know, some staycation or going away somewhere on a weekend or something. And I think that's really important.
You got to hold on to the little things, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise life will just get you down, you know? Like there's positive in everything, everywhere you go. You know, if it's a staycation for 2 days, that might be the best 2 days I had in 3 months, but...
That's right.
Honestly, but I am a big traveller as well. I love to travel.
Yeah.
It's originally why we came here, you know?
Yeah.
I can't believe I've been just here now for 8 years, but I'm not sad about it, but you know, I originally came because I love to travel and I want to see new places, so...
Yeah.
But that's the great thing about Arbory. You know, we're such a seasonal venue.
Yes.
In winter, I could go and take 6 weeks off and the owners would say, fantastic, have a great time. So, that's really, really big benefit of working here as well.
Yeah, I mean, all the times that I've dealt with the owners and the staff here, once they asked me to write about the river and about, the relationship with the Wurundjeri people, the original custodians on the land that was never ceded.
Yes.
And I really love that. I love that they're really into where they are, but they're really into, as you say, the research trips and really finding out about the actual places.
Picking the places apart and seeing the best in it and how we can bring that best here, or bring the best out the river, you know. It's really great, really fantastic.
So although we've established you're young and so on, you have packed a lot in, and you've got senior roles, you've had senior roles. What would your advice be to a young person starting off as a chef?
You know, that's really funny, and I always think back to when I first suggested, maybe I want to become a commis chef in this restaurant. And it was actually one of the owners of the company came to me and said, just stop. Do you actually care about food? Do you actually have a passion for eating, for cooking? Like, do you see stuff on this bench and say, what can I do with that? He said, you really have to have that passion, otherwise don't bother. Because it's not easy, it's not hard, there's a lot of hard work ahead. But if you have that passion, then it would be unbelievably rewarding for you. And that's sort of something that I think about regularly, actually.
Yeah.
You know, even now, 14 years after he told me that.
But how do you cultivate that passion on the hard days? Like, it's hard to always feel passionate.
Absolutely. And
you're saying it's the base.
Yeah, 100%. That's the base. But 100%, of course, it's hard to motivate. You know, a few Christmases back, I was on the pass and I was just having the worst day ever. And I was banging my hands on the pass going, this is the worst Christmas I've ever had. But you know, you just have to look past those moments of frustration and just see why you got into it.
Yeah.
You know, see past the frustration and maybe you're disappointed in yourself, and just look past that and think, why have I pursued this? Why did I decide to get into this? And just focus on that.
Beautiful. Thank you. That's
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with James Gibson at Afloat Viva, Mexico. You can check out all the goodness, and I have to say there is a lot of it, on Instagram at afloat_Melbourne. If you liked what you heard and you want to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat and become a subscriber at www.conversationwithachef.com, and I'd love it if you told a friend about my chats. Now, recently, as well as being able to follow me on Apple and Spotify, you can listen to the podcasts on Audible and on Amazon Podcasts. Thanks again, though, for listening, and have an amazing day. Bon appétit.